uh, flyers that's been going around. But you know, I got my first, let me tell you about the first time I got my very first Mary Kay facial. Now you need to understand that I had never done anything with my face. I was like a soap and water girl. And I had had a baby a while before that. So I had all these spots on my face that was like big mask of pregnancy. Brown, freckles, and my face was kind of like leather, because I had always never took care of it, because when I would try to find some lotion or something, it would make my face perspire, and I'd just put more on and that would make it worse. So I never had a facial. So my friend Beth lived in Alabama, and she was a brand new Mary Kay beauty consultant. Of course they wanted to come see us anyhow, but we were in Mississippi, and so they drove 6 hours to come see us and to practice on my face. And I promise you, I just kept saying, no, really, wow. So of course we got back then we called it the basic set. That was in 1995. And so I said, I love the way makes my face feel. So I bought everything she had, and every day I could feel the difference. I could feel it was soft, and it was looking younger. It was looking better. And so I would go in Levon, my husband, and he'd be sitting in the first week, he was sitting in the living room, and I walked in there and stood up in front of him. I said, look at my face. Look. And he said, yeah, that looks good, baby. It's halftime. Would you? Okay. So he was more interested in his TV. Imagine that. So I said, well, you know what? So I waited. I did another week, and I went back in there. I said, look, seriously though, you got to look. And he said, you know, that does look better. It really does. I said, thanks. And he's like, so then he liked TV a lot, and it was football season. And so then after the third week, I went in there and he said, oh my goodness, really, I really can tell a big difference. And I just felt pretty, because my face felt so soft and smooth, and it was starting to get tightened up, and all the uneven skin tones, and I fell in love with Mary Kay. I made everybody I see tell me, look, don't I look good? Do I look good? And everybody was like, yeah, you look good. You look great. But anyhow, so then just after that third week, every time I'd go in the bathroom, LaVon's over there digging in my stuff. Because he wanted to look good too. And you know what? At that time, I thought, well, you know, it's a really good thing to find something so valuable. And she lived in Alabama. And so I said, well, what am I going to do when I run out? She said, I got some more. I said, okay, good. I will order you some from Mary Kay. You know, Mary Kay will ship products to you. And but I just felt so good, you know. And I just felt, I kept telling him about it. And he mostly did like most men, you know. In the beginning, he just didn't look very much. But anyhow, so what I was doing at that time, I was a young mama, and I had a little girl, Miss Kim. She was 4, and I was working all the time. I was playing the piano for our church, and I was directing our adult choir, and I had a little baby that was 4 that I loved, and I was a registered nurse working in the emergency room, 40 to 60 hours a week, and loving it. Very tired. I taught 9 to 12-year-old Sunday school class. I played with a gospel band. We played on Friday and Saturday night, and we traveled a bunch of times. We traveled to different churches and stuff and did concerts. Other than that, I wasn't very busy. And so one day I came home from work and I had my check. I'm like, Levon, look at this overtime. Do you see what my check is this time? And so he's a man of few words. And he says, yeah, that's good, honey. He said, but you see that little girl down there? She needs her mama. I said, well, I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it to buy her some more dance outfits. And he said, she don't need things. She needs her mama. And I realized then that every other Sunday, our church, I had been knowing that, our church sang with no music because I was working in the emergency room. And I also realized that I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, busy, and happy, things that I felt God had called me to do. But I was too busy. And the most important thing, I think the high calling is motherhood and being a wife and doing what God would have you to do. And so I started praying. Because every other Sunday, my choir didn't sing. They said, we don't have to sing today. Miss Faye's not here. We'll just sit back here. And they sang with no music. And so I started asking God. And it was almost like God finally said, you know what? Finally, you asked me. You asked me. I can take care of that for you. Well, then what I did was I found the Mary Kay. And Beth had told me about it, how I could make money. So, and I needed some more anyhow. I was starting to need some. I was afraid I'd run out. I really didn't want to run out. I would drink if I could have. So I started praying and I started asking God. And it was the next week that I really listened. And she had left me at Applause magazine. And I looked up some of those salaries in the Applause magazine. And so I talked to them about being a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And so at the interview, they said, well, now, if you will do Mary Kay for 2 to 3 parties a week for a year, you'll be driving a free car and a sales director if that's what you choose. Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was a nurse and I'd been working 60 hours a week. So I made up my mind that I would prove them wrong. I got me a notepad, my date book, and I started doing it every week, 2 to 3 parties, usually 3. And I said, I'm going to show them at the end of a year that that's not true, because 2 to 3 parties, 2 or 3 hours, and here I was working 60 hours a week. Well, it did not even take a year, y'all. It took 8 months. In 8 months' time, I was a sales director, and I was driving a brand new, free red Grand Am, the use of the free red Grand Am, and Mary Kay bought the car tag and paid the insurance, all but about 15% of it, and then all I had to do was put gas in it and drive it. Let me tell you something, I love that so much. And I started driving that little car and doing my thing, and very quickly, within a few weeks, I was able to go part-time at the hospital, full-time at Mary Kay. And then I went even less than that, which was PRN. So every Sunday I could be in my Lord's house. And then when Kim started school, I could pick her up and take her to school and be there, because I found out later on, if I want to hear anything that happened, I better get it as soon as I picked her up from school, because by the time she got home and went to sleep, by the time we got home, she ate and went to sleep, and then there was no more questions. But I fell in love with it. I found out it lined up with my philosophy so much. Mary Kay said, God first, then your family, then your career. And everything I started learning, I started just being amazed at the facts about Mary Kay. Everything about it lined up with what I wanted. Plus, I was getting to be home. And I would be home with my husband more. And I was happy. And I doubled what I made as a nurse. And because our products are consumable. When these women that had parties with me a while back, they were already wanting more. And I was like, yeah, well, I got some more. And I know how it felt, because I was freaking out to think that that I maybe was going to run out, because I would just freak on out, because I love the products. And I loved watching the women when they put the stuff on their face. And I loved to watch them when they feel their face and they'd look in the mirror and they would say, man, I am pretty. I look good. And so I just liked everything about it. I still do. To this day, I love giving Mary Kay facials. Mary Kay said, find something that you like doing so much that you would do it for nothing, and someone would pay you well to do it. And that's what I found with Mary Kay. I'm so excited about that. The car I got, every 2 years you got a new car. So my goal was always the pink Cadillac. In Mary Kay today, you get a little Chevy Malibu, and the next step is in the car program, you can get the Equinox, and then the next step is the Traverse, the little Mini Cooper. Can't you see me scatting around in that? And then the pink Cadillac. That's my goal by December this year. And so I started doing that, and there's another Cadillac now, even advanced, like an SUV Cadillac. It's a big old fine thing, Well, I did so well with that. The beauty of Mary Kay now, another major thing was, my husband's with the railroad, and so we got transferred to Memphis, Tennessee. Well, guess what? We have no territories and no quotas, so I just picked up my Mary Kay, and here we went to Memphis, Tennessee. I formed a unit up there. I had a sales director. I was a senior sales director. A girl became a sales director on my team, and another one was in DIQ. And I had red jackets, and I had a team. Guess what I still had? My Mississippi people. So here I was with Tennessee and Mississippi, and God was blessing and blessing and blessing because I put him first. And I love what I did. And so we did that for a while. Then a few years later, we got transferred to Mississippi, back to Mississippi at Katrina in 2005. And we got transferred again. And this time we got transferred to the city where my sister lives, in Picayune, Mississippi. And that's where we live now. And the greatest thing is, y'all, let me tell you something. I had a ball then, the same thing. I started doing the same thing again. I started forming red jackets here, building my unit. I still have my Tennessee folks. I still have them today. And then I still had the people from up in Hattiesburg. And so I love Mary Kay, everything about it. Mary Kay has the most incredible product, has more brand name recognition next to Coca-Cola in the United States. And Mary Kay is just an amazing product. The company itself is wonderful. So we started doing that, and then my sister's a nurse practitioner, and I'm a nurse, of course, so we started our own healthcare clinic. Suddenly, things changed in a hurry. I thought I would be just nursing, and she'd be nursing, but suddenly I was doing a little bit of everything. Payroll, supplies, office, front desk. I mean, I've never been that busy in my whole life. And so I had to let my Mary Kay go. I had to let my dream of the pink Cadillac, put it on a table for a while, knowing that one day I'd probably come back, but it was just... it was a great time. We were doing what we knew God called us to do at that time, but more or less I stayed busy. Weekends, nights, Sundays, there was never any time, so I had to do that. And so I wasn't doing Mary Kay, other than I would go online and order from our pastor's wife, because our youth pastor's wife, because I loved it. I was never going to be without Mary Kay, never, ever, ever. And so then in 2 years ago, I got very, 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 very sick. I'm talking about like terminally ill. And I knew that I was, and I knew that I was gravely ill. I had a fever every day. We couldn't find out why. I lost 30 pounds in 3 months. And I was weak, but I was happy, happy, happy. Because I knew with every fiber of my being that it was my time. And I knew that my time up was on this earth. And all I could think about was being with him. And how to get out of this body and get there. And so every day I didn't want my husband to know. I'd jump back in the bed as soon as he left for work and hop up. Because he'd worry himself crazy. And but I would spend the days reading the Bible, studying, reading about heaven, reading about being with the Lord, reading about how wonderful it'd be to be with him. And so I got so sick, and I knew that I was going to die. But my sister found out, and she kind of got me, took me to the doctor, and they did x-rays, and I had masses, and they showed us on the CT, masses and nodules all in my lungs. And then I found out that he said he wanted to go in there and biopsy. He went in, he did some biopsies, and he went in to do some biopsies, and he come out and told my daughter, I can't see anything in there to biopsy. And she said, my mama was healed. We had prayer for her 2 weeks ago. He said, yes, you called and told me that. He said, actually, God healed her. I just got the money for it. So God showed me why he left me here. He left me here on this earth in the book of James to care for the widows and the orphans. James 1:27, pure, undefiled religion is caring for the widows and the orphans and the oppressed and living a godly life. And so I love doing that. I was just ecstatic, so happy. And I knew that's why, and it's nothing is sweeter than doing what you know you're on this earth for. And so I started taking care of my orphans, my widows, and every week I had a new one, and I would buy them flowers and go out to eat, take them to eat, call them and sing to them. That was my big thing. And so this racked on, and then 4 months later, my daughter Kim said, Mama, I'm going to sell Mary Kay. And I'm like, where did that come from? And so I prayed with her, and we went and found Miss Robin Moody. And that was one of the best moves we've ever made in our lives. She and I both agree. Is that she started, and I started going with her just to help her out, because I knew that she could quit her job and stay home with my 2 grandbabies and get the nerve to quit her nursing job. And I more or less found out with the flexibility that I had that she could have that. And she did. She got brave enough to quit her job and start working part-time, the same scenario. And then God showed me that I could use Mary Kay with those widows. So every Monday I still do. I bring a widow to my house and I would give them a facial, give them the product. And orphans too. I used Teen Challenge, Mississippi, different people that I knew, and God used me. There was no greater joy. And Mary Kay was that vehicle all along, all along, all along. And the greatest thing about the whole thing of that is the fact that I was happy and at peace, knowing what He called me to do. Mary Kay fit right in with that life. God showed me that who the Son is set free is free indeed. That was in the book of John. And then He showed me in Isaiah 61, the verse for our new unit, because after 2 months of February, He says, why don't you be a sales director? You'll see even more people. That's okay. So I made director in 2 months, and then we won our first car, and I just started doing that. And I just started, Mary Kay fit perfect with everything that I ever did. I'm telling you all that to tell you that Mary Kay works for a brand new little mama, a college student, from if you're 18 years old until the time you take your last breath, you can do Mary Kay, and you can make it fit with your life because of the flexibility. The reason most people get in Mary Kay is, number one, the money. We make 50% of everything that we sell. That's huge. And then if you choose to go into management, it's even more. 4, 9, 13, up to 26% more of everything that's sold in Mary Kay. And then the recognition. Oh my goodness, I didn't think I liked recognition, but I love it pretty good. I got to go on stage last week at seminar. We had won this cruise. I got to go on stage for that cruise. I'll show you this. And then I had won this bee. Look at that bee. Oh, you can't see it good. Let me see if that light will make it shine. It shines and dazzles. It's a bee for the Queen's Court of Sharon. And I got to go on stage. The recognition is amazing. And the self-improvement. I learned to take care of my face. I learned to take care of my skin. I learned to care about other people because I was content myself. When you're content yourself, then you can care for others. And I learned how to do so many things. How to do so much for myself and feel better about myself. And then the car program, I've talked to y'all about the car over and over and over. As a Mary Kay beauty consultant, you can win a car. I just got a video of a girl yesterday, of a consultant that had won her car. Right now it's a Malibu. It's cute, cute, cute. And it's great. And it's something that you can do yourself. And then the advancements. In Mary Kay, you can make a decision. I just want to sell the product and do that the rest of our life and make a great living just selling the product. Or you can advance. It's also some tax advantages too. You can talk to a tax attorney or a person that does taxes about that. All kinds of stuff. The federal government smiles on a business in your home. And then you're your own boss. You say, guess what? For 35 years, somebody told me every day, you can't be, you've got to work Christmas. I don't care if your babies are little. Well, I don't have to do that no more. I don't have to work every other Sunday. My church don't say I still play keyboards at church. But, so there's so many reasons, and Deb Ponzio has put all kind of neat stuff below about Mary Kay. I could just talk for hours, but we're about out of time. But I do want to tell you one thing. Most people say, how much does it cost? How much can I make? The sky's the limit what you can make. It costs $100. For $100, you get this amazing bag. Look at it. You know, it's so cute. It smells like Christmas. It's nice. I just ordered another one so I could have another one, have an extra one. And it's a beautiful bag. It's a beautiful bag. It's $100. For you $100, you get $400 worth of products. And you can make money as much as you want. You can make like $84,000 like our national sales director, Kathy Halou, makes sometimes in a month. Or you could make just, if you maybe want a car note once a month, we'll teach you how. Our training program is amazing. You'll love that part. And then the next thing is I'm going to give you a code at the end, and you could tell your consultant your code. Then she'll know that you really listened in case she didn't see you pop on. And then I want to teach you on the scale though, because it's really important for you to think about this. You may say, I don't want to do that. And you may say, you know what? That lady can do it, I could do it. A grandma or a mom, whatever. So A means absolutely. I got $100. I can sell Mary Kay and I can make a good little living. And B is buy me a cup of coffee. I might want to do that, but I got some more questions. Let's talk about it. Or C is a customer. I will be your happy customer. I will pray for you every day, and I will buy from you, and I'll have you parties and classes, but I just like being a customer. I don't really want to try that right now. So if you go to sleep tonight, you drink about little pink elephants jumping over a fence, you probably need to do Mary Kay. But you may know right now, this minute, that you want to do it. But I want you to prayerfully consider it, because I don't think it's an accident that you're on this call. I really don't. And so if you're sitting here in your kitchen and something goes, somebody's knocking on your door, what do you say? Come in. So that's what I want you to do. Come in. I want you to sign up to do Mary Kay. I think that it would be great. I think that it would be a perfect opportunity for you. I would love to get a list and somebody tell me, guess what, Miss Faye? Because I'll find you at seminar or career conference. I want to give you a big old hug or send you a text, because it's the most wonderful opportunity. And guess what? If it doesn't work, Mary Kay takes the risk. She gives you 90% of your money back within your first year. So try it and see. It'll be a great day. Make it be a great day. Thank you so much. Remember, the code is pink. So call your beauty consultant and say the code was pink. And A, absolutely, here's my $100. I'm ready to sell Mary Kay. I want to be a Mary Kay beauty consultant. Do you like that? I think it would be great. I'm so excited, and I thank you so much for signing on and listening tonight. Give us a few minutes of your time. I run over a little bit, I'm sorry. But I hope you have an amazing day.